about anything at the end.
Okay. Pasting the questions here. When are going the elections for the AO going to happen?
As soon as possible. I'm sorry, guy, to be late on this, but as you may know, I had a terrible month with flu. Luckily, it's not COVID, but still a pain. And I'm still recovering, so give me some time. I'll be back as soon as possible, and we'll start with the DAO as soon as we can.
Okay. Next question. I have an epic water tower and a silo, but the consumption of water and food is still 0.042 cbits when using the harvester function. If I want to try the low consumption, I have to manually click the harvest function one by one, but I have more than 300 animals and vegetable gardens. It is unrealistic to manually click one by one during the specified harvest time. So I would like to ask you, when the CBs consumed of harvest all functions can be changed according to the level of the water tower and the silo. I think the Farming Tales game should make people feel comfortable and happy to play instead of clicking a harvest function button repeatedly like a robot. I think your guys' original intention of making the game should not be like this.
As people that are here from the beginning no, yes, that's absolutely our original intention. Harvest all is considered a commodity, and it's also a way to balance whales and small players. So if someone want to be super profitable with a large farm, need to harvest by hand. If he's lazy, he can use the harvest tool, but he need to pay for that. Harvest tool or the worker was not planned in our game. It's there since a part of the community asked for that, but as already said hundred of times, it's not cheap, and people need to pay for that.
Okay. What will you do if everyone stops playing the game and leaves the project? Become an astronaut?
We will do the same thing that each game will do if everyone stops playing. It's I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's a stupid question.
Yes, kinda is. Okay. What are the prospects of the project we have at the moment, and why should we wait so long and at the same time?
I think you should wait so long because Farming Tales is a long-term project. It's not a click and learn, and I'm sure you know it. And we already said that it will be a long project. We are one of the first project trying to really connect Unity or a real engine, I don't know, but in our case, Unity with the blockchain, and it's hard. It's all new, and these things takes time. So if you want to bet on the project, if you want to bet on the on a real game, you should wait for that. If you think that there is something better around, you can just try the other games, the other products on Wax, on any blockchain you want.
Yeah, I think the people on the blockchain are not really familiar with the terms of alpha and beta and stuff like that, and they expect to earn and have ROI since the day one of the game. And
yeah, I have to be honest, probably this is our fault. In this moment, the blockchain is not the right place to have some kind of developing products like Farming Tales or like any other games. But I really think if we want to bring the gaming, the real gaming on the blockchain, people need to understand also these ways. If and when and if some big producer like, I don't know, Naughty Dog will come on the blockchain, they probably will work like us with developing stage for their products, not for a whole game. It takes maybe 4, 5, 6 years to be fully developed.
yes, it's a lot of time. So basically, players need to see it as an investment, which they are betting on being propitious in a couple of months, years, or something like that.
Yeah, it's not so different from Kickstarter, for example. And well, it's different since here people can still earn, while on Kickstarter you are just betting on something without any earnings.
Yeah, usually you're losing on Kickstarting.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the point now to enter the game for beginners?
I know it's hard for beginners now, but it's also fair and and right that people to enter the game and to be profitable need to invest. Otherwise, all the investors will feel joked and say, trying to enter the game now without investing anything, of course, is difficult and probably not profitable.
Yes, the thing is that because of the staking, now the game is not that simple right now. You can not just buy an NFT and start earning, right? You have to play the full game to do that. You have to stake, you have to get the cbits, you have to feed the animals and stuff like that. You cannot just buy one NFT and
Yes, basically people are used to invest just into NFTs to start a game. In our case, they need to invest maybe a large part into NFTs, and a small or a medium, or I don't know, even a large part into Zest to farm. And it's common on other blockchain.
there's something in your background.
Oh, sorry, I'm probably me playing with
Okay,
the
yeah.
table. Yeah. Oh, my microphone is good then. It's common on other blockchain. For example, Hive or Steam, and it's one of the of the not so many way to have a sustainable environment. It's not possible to act different, to have a long life for a project, from my point of view, of course.
Wait, Farming Tales on Steam?
No, I'm just Steam, not for sure. We hate
I think Steam banned cryptocurrency games. Well, not banned,
no,
but
Steam, the blockchain. But we are
okay.
yeah. Steam or Hive are two blockchain based on stake. You need to stake your crypto to gain voting power, basically.
Yes, Hive uses the same system as Wax.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the plan for now since you can't keep up with the roadmap?
I think we are going to publish the new roadmap tomorrow on the day after, and we are not so late with the roadmap, and maybe we can talk about that at the end of the EMA. But keep in mind that, for example, each time you ask to the dev team to create something, to introduce something, we need to stop everything else and working on that. In this case, we have used December to push out the new economy that was originally planned for Newark Chester, and to have it delivered. Of course, we have spent a lot of time on that, and so that's it.
Gotcha. Okay. When animal blending?
Probably this week, the end of the week.
Okay. Can stables be blended or upgraded for more slots?
Not for now.
Okay. Hello Lycos, it's now 10 days from that message and the Cbit pool didn't recover. All the players should have gotten back to the game. Why the Cbit pool didn't increase? Let me pause the picture.
Yep.
That's it.
Thank you. You are fired. And
Hey, he posted the picture first.
The pool is still the same, and we are generous with that, since the total consumption is not raised up after Christmas. I really think we need we still need to stabilize the game, and probably up to now new players are really stuck with the system, and that's why we need to deliver the wildflowers. There are a lot of people that cannot harvest right now, or that think that harvest is not profitable.
Yes, they either staked all their assets and now they can harvest. They either bought Cbits and now they don't have animals, stuff like that.
Yeah,
a lot of misplays. Okay.
But I hope not to be rude, but people in Farming Tales also need to use some brain to play, and math is math. if you do your math well, the game is profitable, and there are a lot of people here that Ethereum is not profitable. I don't know who's writing that, but if people do their math, they can earn from this stuff.
Yeah, I think our concept is pretty new to the Wax blockchain, at least. On other blockchains, this type of game is actually pretty common, but people here are not used to it. They are only used to click one time on an NFT very few hours and earn. And now we brought all this new stuff into the gaming on Wax, and now they are confused.
It's probably up to now. It's everything more an investment than a game, but as you know, we are aiming to have a real game and a full game, not just a financial tool. I don't know, tool.
Yeah.
A financial tool. Yeah.
Okay. Hello. First of all, I want to wish Lycos health and all the developers.
Thank you.
As well as express my support in all endeavors. In such a market situation, it is now very difficult to achieve growth, and we understand that. I have one question about the products. After the release of Waxchester, the sales will be in short supply because the animal will produce products.
Yes, I think lots of Zest will be in some way removed from the Zest market, we can call it there. Since there will be lots of way to use your products, and you also could, for example, exchange them with the chest system directly into Atomic, or you can use them in New Chester. So yes.
So just to be clear, because this was a general confusion until now, Zest will not disappear from the game, right?
No, no, of course. You can still decide to sell your products raw, and you can earn from them the same amount of Zest you can earn now, or you can trade them. You can bring them to Newark Chester. You can use them to feed the workers. There will be lots of stuffs to use your products.
Basically creating utility and at the same time more scarcity because people will choose those other utilities for the products. All right.
Sure.
Question from the same guy. Are you planning to introduce additional stress burning mechanisms?
Yes. You should think that won't be, for example, the workers' feeding system won't be a real Zest burning mechanism, but it's something more like a product burning mechanism. So basically, it's the same result.
Okay, before we move any further, I want to ask you directly so you clarify this to everyone. How are devs earning money from the game?
In this phase, we are earning money just from Atomic Hub fees. And I think there's a question about that in the next few ones. But yes, for now, Atomic Hub fees are enough to bring on everything. And I mean, also for the team, it's a long-term travel. So if we try to earn everything now, the game will fail, of course. We prefer to, for example, for the fishing pyre, for the lumberjack, we prefer to sell them with the in-game currency, to burn the currency, but to try to keep an healthy game.
All right. So this leads me to the next question. So to clarify even more, what happens with the zest from crafting, with the cibits from feeding, with the zest from sales? It's all burned, right? It doesn't go to the devs account and they sell it on Alcor. It gets burned.
No, you can check the transaction ID on blocks or EOS authority, since blocks looks like it's going to close.
It's actually not. They tweeted that they made the deal back with the Wax blockchain.
Okay.
Yeah, they asked
Okay,
for
okay.
money and they gave them money and now they're back.
Nice. It's still better EOS authority, so use that. But so you can check the transaction ID directly from the blockchain. Cbits are burned each 2, 3, 4 days. I don't know when I can't stay in front of the PC, basically.
No.
And this for Cbits. Zest will be always back to the pool. We are not earning any Cbits or any Zest. Well, I'm earning some Cbits, maybe 2 per day, if I'm not wrong. Playing like everyone else. I have not a big farm, and Bruce know that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I forgot what I have wanted to ask. I will. I'll remind myself later. Okay, moving on then. Can we please make the epic vegetable? I mean, you already did this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Can we please make the epic vegetable garden cost less water to harvest? I keep finding myself in a position where it doesn't even feel like it's worth to harvest it at all the time because I'll have like 30 water left in the tank and would have to waste it because waste it to refill and harvest. I was thinking maybe cost it 25 or 30 water to harvest would be a good change. Well, we already made that change, right?
Yep, exactly. It's done, and I think it's working now, if I'm not wrong.
I don't have a garden, so I cannot confirm that. But the new changes.
Huge error, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm a goose man. The new cost for gardens, guys. So the water cost has changed for tomatoes, right? Which is the plant used now by the gardens, and the common garden
Yes.
consumes 8 water now. A rare one consumes 16 water, and an epic one consumes 24 water.
Yeah, of course, if it works, the same rate will be updated for all the vegetables.
All right. One question from the chat, which I forgot to add it in the text version. When the seed system is out, will players with epic gardens and rare gardens be able to? Will they have the option to only harvest one plant or two plants from their gardens, or they have to harvest the entire garden?
We are still not sure on that. We are trying to have 3 different slots for the epic, for example, so you can grow tomatoes, potatoes, and carrots, but still not sure.
Okay. Next question. Starting from the past week when CBT airdrop amount reduced, more and more people complaining and some even saying new players are negative ROI. Maybe free one refill needs to be included ASAP. I suggest to add a button counter besides water and food bar every midnight UTC time. It will add one counter to the button. It cannot accumulate, meaning if the button shows 1 and the next day it is unused, it won't be adding to it. So when players press this button, it will refill the food or silo to full free once per day. So basically, they want a button that fully refills the water tower and silo once per day.
Yes, that's also our original idea, but it can be abused in so many ways that we discard it.
Yeah, especially by botnets,
And
right?
yeah, Wildflowers, by the way, will work in that way. It's not a free refill, but it's, in my opinion, a huge help for new players. And I know that with the reduced pool, it's difficult for someone, but it's the same with a larger pool and a lower value of the CBIT. So it doesn't make difference.
Right. And wildfires are limited, right? They cannot be abused by a million bot accounts.
Yeah, it's one for farm, 2,000 pieces, and
Oh, nice
they.
pick. Thank you.
Oh, fuck. And they can be traded on the Atomic Hub market. So I think they can generate something interesting.
All right. Moving on then. Cbit was lauded as the thing to stabilize Zest. Then it was staking. So far, none of it seems to be working, with the exception of that pump for a week or so. In addition to that, the general consensus is that community is that if anything, this system defers new players from joining, as a lot of them barely make any profit or are too confused as to how the game works. More staking doesn't seem to be answered, as right now there's more Zest being staked than sold, but Zest keeps dropping. Crafting isn't exactly viable right now, as Atomic Hub is always cheaper.
I agree with the last part. On Atomic Hub, is everything cheaper now?
I guess his question is how will Manchester fix all these problems you listed
Ah,
above.
okay. Creating a more interesting and attractive game, basically. I already said this lots of time. Probably people hate me for that, but we need real games on the blockchain, on every blockchains, not only on Wax. But we need the real games to have something sustainable, and could be not so popular words, but we also need to have difficult dynamics to earn. It cannot be just a click and earn in which anyone can just earn without using brain, without investing, without anything. It's not realistic, something like that.
Yes, agreed. Agreed on that. Okay.
Earning should be hard. Maybe not hard like in real life, but still hard.
How to stabilize the situation with the token? It is obvious that now it will fall further and further without changes.
No, it looks like it's kinda stable for me. Maybe we should aim to have a more stable Zest, of course, but CBT is performing well, and also Zest. We need the Joe by other Zest.
Yeah, we need to buy. He needs to buy a market order. Okay. Next one. While there was silence for 2 weeks, we saw that the whales in the game got a huge advantage in the distribution of cebits. Every day, their daily yield increases, and for small farmers, it decreases. And now we go in a vicious circle, stealing more and more zest and receiving fewer cebits. Whales are disrupting the course of zest and cebits. How do you think? I already know because he wrote sisters. I already know who it is. How do you think this problem will be solved? If we become well food, will it make sense for me to play farming tales?
Okay, basically, as we already discussed on the general chat, um, saying that everyday whales increase their yield, it's a wrong math. Since a person with, I don't know, 300 animals can increase their percentage on the pool exactly like someone with 3 animals. The daily increasing percentage is the same. And whales are not disrupting anything. I have to be honest, and people know that I like minnows, but whales are not disrupting anything. Whales are here like anyone else to earn, and they don't want to destroy the game. And
I think he is only
that's
seeing the only half a side of the situation because in this situation he thinks that Wells steal all his Cebit, right? But on the other side, the reality is that Wells also buy his zest from Alcor to stake for those
yeah,
them
exactly,
Cebits, and he is missing
exactly.
that point. Yeah.
You need to decide if you want a game where there are no whales, a standard game, I mean, where there are no whales, no minnows, or if you want to earn, but in that case, there will always be whales, dolphin, minnows, anything else.
Okay. From the same user, why is so much attention paid to drawing graphics and 3D models of animals? What are the advantages of this in the economic game?
Because we want a game. And 3D models are just good. And also, people are really asking for them. So it's something cool, and it will be probably the next step, or maybe not the next, but right after that.
Okay. Do you understand that the life of the game also depends on the influx of new players? What is, in your opinion, will attract them to enter the game if there are complex mechanics of interactions between two tokens and a huge influence of established whales?
I'm pretty sure if you can pump a Bitcoin at 100k, there will be new players kinda everywhere. But jokes apart, yes, of course we need new players, and each game needs new player on blockchain, on Steam, on Epic, everywhere. I really think new Chester will be attractive, but also the upcoming news waiting for new Chester could be fun.
Okay. Now the interesting part of the AMA, the exact opposite side of previous questions. A whale cannot farm manually. It is
Okay.
mathematically impossible. So before we had the small guy complaining about whales, and now whales are complaining that they cannot pay. They are therefore forced to harvest all and to pay a feed charge at the 0.42 cbit per food, when the other small farms, if they own a silo, can manually farm and have a charge at 0.033 cbit per food or 0.025 cbit per food, and be practically 2 times less fees than the big players. So my question is, how do you want the big players who are harvesting all uh, dependent to continue to stack enough cess to be competitive with the small farmers who amass more cess proportionally than the big players?
Mm, Bruce, you are using the harvest tool.
I don't. Well, sometimes when I'm too lazy to wake up from the
Okay.
bed, but yeah, only sometimes.
Okay, I know lots of big players that are not using or not using always the harvest
I
tool.
mean, I
So
prefer to. I actually hire someone to harvest manually. I get more money like that way, right? I guess that's depending from country to country, but in my country, I can find someone working for me really cheap.
yeah, I don't want to take jokes on these questions, but I really think that if whales are complaining on minnows and minnows are complaining on whales, it means that the system is working.
Kinda, yes, yes. If you look at the big picture, indeed, it is
Yeah,
working. Yes, because people need SES for Cebits, people need Cebits for SES, and it's a working economy, right? Everyone needs to participate at the end of the day.
yeah,
I think I think this leads us to something said before, right? Because of the only missing element right now is the crafting, right? People are not crafting because prices on Atomic Hub are cheaper, and that's why the discrepancy between CEST and Cebits, right? Because CEST
yeah,
is only used for staking right now, not crafting.
yeah. And I know that's a problem, and someone was asking in the past days to lower the CEST price to crafting game, but I think it's crazy to follow the market with in-game price. If we lower the in-game prices, people will keep to lower the atomic hub prices, and so on and so on and so on. So now, for now, I think the best way is to let the market uh, find its equilibrium.
I actually think I think blending will help a lot with this because a lot
Yeah,
of common
probably
animals will
yes.
disappear from the market, like a lot of them.
Yeah, also because they are really cheaper than Epic, for example, on the market.
Yep, yep. Okay, from the same guy. You want to implement a second system that will help small farmers and it will disadvantage again big farmers. Some of the small farmers will have more CBIT than necessary compared to the big players and will dump on the players who have invested a big amount or are holding and supporting the project from the beginning. I assume he refers to the wildflowers here.
Yeah, it's not the same person that asked if we understand
No, it's a
that
different
our
one.
life. Okay, okay, because will be funny. Um, I I think the new system won't disadvantage big farmers. It's for a big farmer, it's nothing, and while it's important for newcomers.
All right. So, in your opinion, you think wildfires won't be bought by big whales, right? But
Yeah,
they will be bought by smaller players or medium players for their
yeah.
farms. Okay. A follow up from him. So, how will you unite as many people as possible, regardless of their investment, in an inequitable system? And how are you going to prevent the big whales that own thousands of animals from not selling everything and overload the market on Atomic Hub?
we cannot prevent anything. We can just deliver something good, and I think it will be so.
Yeah, you just want to make a playable environment for everyone, and after
Yeah.
that, it's up to them to buy NFTs and craft them and play the game, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that Cbit will solve the Zest price problem. We are currently at an all-time low. Do you think it is legitimate and respectful to ask to invest again in a drop to pay yourself when it could have been done in game in order to burn millions of in-game tokens and help the economy?
Yes, we are probably the only project around here that had in the last 3 months only in-game sales, and the main don't know the word. The main reason because we don't want another Zest sale is that people are already out of Zest to generate CBIT, and another Zest sale it's not an help for small players.
Yes. I'm seeing a huge problem with Cbit that can only be explained by many outside investors, not players, staking Zest and dumping their Cbit. I have 80 geese. I've staked over 200k Zest. I'm staking all the Zest that I make from the past week, and I still can't keep up. I'm at a net loss. If I farm my animals, I lose money. I don't make enough Cbit to farm my animals. This is really unfair. At this point, I should just sell all my animals and stakes Zest or and dump Cbit.
If you just buy Zest on the market, staking them to earn CBIT, you cannot deal with people that are producing every day, first of all. So it's a suicide way. And I ran a test 2 days ago, if I'm not wrong. I've posted some screen in the general chat. And with the rare silo and a random mix of commons, some rare and a couple of epic, I managed to increase my yield, my percentage of CBIT during 24 hours. So I'm sorry to say that, but if you can't keep up with that, probably you are doing something wrong.
Yep. I think
And I think someone has posted also today some table or some tool for that in the general.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
had a chance to check it yet.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think the most common misplay right now is that people buy a lot of common animals and they do not upgrade their silo. The only
Yes,
reason,
but
for example,
yeah.
I have 120 common animals, right? And the only reason I am able to, if I had a common silo,
Yeah.
I will lose money, right? But I made the investment and bought an epic silo, and now I'm actually making money, right? And that's the thing. You have to make an equilibrium between your investment, not buy only 500 animals and stay with the rare silo. You have to upgrade the silo too. You have to upgrade the water tower too. It's part of the game.
Yeah, and as we said, really lots of time during the past weeks. Someone invested in rare or epic storage, and someone not. So
Yeah. At what point players have to make the decision: do I buy 10 more common animals or do I buy an epic silo?
yeah.
Simple as that. Okay. Uh, My proposal would be to have the Cebit pool take into consideration not only how much cells you stake, but also how many animals you have staked. Otherwise, outside investors will just dump wreck the gamers like me.
Yes and no. I mean, also an external investor can just buy and stake some animals to cheat the system. I think the better way could be to have the active staking for animals and plants, and to find a way to count also the activity of players, and probably this will be done in future. But it's absolutely a complicated system, and we cannot stop again everything to focus on this, mainly because even if it's difficult, I think the system is working now.
Okay. This is the funny one actually. This guy actually seems he was botting the year. I have also used robot harvesting to reduce the consumption of cebits. I have Epic Tower and Silo, and the consumption becomes 0.025 cebits when I use the robot. But the consumption is 0.042 cebits of the harvest all function, and this is what forces me to use robots. So can I consider that you guys allow and encourage players to use robots when harvesting?
Basically, when you use a robot for the harvest, you are you are giving your private keys to someone, and as we have seen during the last update, robots could have some problem during updates and when stuff changes.
Oh yeah, they were sending out blocks. The wrong
Yeah.
the wrong says. Yeah.
Probably the biggest barn of Zest has been thanks to robots during the update. So it's your risk, basically.
And they were obviously bots because no one complained about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And someone has also requested a refund for the bot issues.
Yeah, I love when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. In a manual harvest, epic silos cost 0.025 cebits per unit, and rare ones cost 0.033 per unit. But the same when using harvest all. The worker concept was mentioned before. Will this allow epic silos to be more efficient than rare ones using the worker? I guess answer this.
Okay. Workers will work. Sorry for the game, but will work in a different way. So yes, they will be more efficient than the actual the current harvest tool. Yeah.
Oh, all right. There are so many complaints on the boards about small new players having no hope and wealth benefiting. This has resulted in the same groups of people constantly having to explain the game mechanics, reduce assets, swap Zest for cebits, build slow, use rare and epics, etc., and having to explain why whales are not advantaged, and in fact disadvantaged since they are mostly forced to harvest all to the size of the farms. Can we either set up a separate vent room or have a clearer FAQ slash game mechanics so that we can spend our time on the future rather than debating the same thing?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We can set up it.
You want to set up a vent room where people can just swear?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, probably you are going to spend your whole life there, so it's okay for me.
Yeah. Regarding the FAQ and the game mechanics, we have a new guide coming on the website,
Yeah.
written by a actually professional writer of, I think,
Yeah.
Fage Told. And on the Discord side, we have I've actually worked the entire FAQ section, and now actually it's it's more than enough. Trust me, it has images, it has everything you need. If that does not explain everything, I don't know what does. I mean, I don't know what to do more than that. Sorry.
Yeah. People need to read stuff.
What we will do
Uh,
actually extra on Discord, we will have a new player section, and after I explain everything there, we will add the guides made by players on Hives, right? On Hive.
yeah.
I think that will also help. But other than that, I don't know what else can. Sorry.
I think people are really doing a great job. With
Yeah, yeah. I actually was impressed about how much time people put into writing good articles there. It's a really good job.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, moving on. Can we have a community
Nope.
vote? Okay. I believe of most of them. The reason is
I not everything. Okay, not everything can be voted on. I'm sorry for that, but um, this is our decision, and it will be there.
I mean, if Russia works with Putin, we can work with Lycos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Uh, where are the what? What? Where are the withdrawing fees going, and what are you doing with them? They are burned.
Withdraw fees for Zest are back to the pool, while for Cbits are burned.
Oh, the 2% is burned, and the 5% is going back to the pool. All right.
Yeah.
Um, are you planning to change the white paper's timeline for the current month?
The roadmap, probably. Yes. We discussed our new roadmap this afternoon, so I can say something at the end.
Okay. Will boosters be introduced in January?
Mm, I don't know. We are working on booster from a month, probably. Yes, something like that. It need to be integrated with the other stuff we are building. So they will be delivered as soon as possible. It's one of our priority.
Okay. Will access to Manchester this month be through Diorama? I like how we automatically assume that Manchester is this month.
There are a couple of unrealistic things in there. No, I don't know. Diorama, no, it won't be useful for new accessor. And no, it won't be useful to get the driver license.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, when Davo will start, how can I get a role in it?
Anyone can get a role in DAO. And the first one prototype of Farming Tales DAO will be out soon, before Watchester for sure, and as soon as possible,
Okay.
or just soon.
Could we not favor some of the players with flowers and just have a fair system for everyone?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay. The last time the whales had to pay extra for harvest ore, they crashed the market. If there is an addition, a measure which disadvantages the big players, it will become unmanageable. I watch the chat every day, and new players don't complain about the system. They are curious and interested. Those who complain about the system are the old players who do not have enough cibits. This means that it will not attract new players, but it will definitely make the big players leave.
First of all, whales are not pay an extra for the harvest tool. Whales asked for the harvest tool. We coded it, and they need to pay to use the worker the harvest tool. So it's not an extra.
This is actually you actually made a move towards the community, because I remember when I joined the game, you said that we will have to manually go to each building and collect each animal from there, right? Manually. And now players all they have to do is go to the tractor, click E, and select each animal. They don't have to walk to each building.
Yeah.
So it's actually it was actually really worse before, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And no, I don't think new players are complaining about the system, but if they start with commons and they cannot buy some rare storage, they have a serious hole to grow in the game, and they could live for that. So trying to help them could be good for the whole system.
Yeah, in reality, the system is actually perfect, if I dare to say, right? The only problem right now is that sense is low, and that's why commons are not profitable now. That's literally the only problem in the system, and that problem cannot be controlled by the devs, only by the players.
Yeah, and that's true. But if we try to adjust the CBIT pool, for example, all surprises will change. So it's something like the situation between in-game craft and Atomic Hub market. We are talking about that. We cannot just increase the pool, the CBIT pool.
Yeah, if
that's not the solution.
Yeah, exactly. If you increase the CBIT pool, then CBIT will go to 0.4, let's say, and sales will go to 0.3. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah.
But, okay. If we will have animal blendings, could we have buildings blend crafting option as well? For instance, 2 common stable will give us 1 stable, etc.
Not for now, since having, for example, for stable, having an epic stable is a huge advantage in terms of space into the farms, and people that invest in epic need to be rewarded for that. So we can probably find a way also for that, but it won't be as simple as for animals.
Yeah, maybe you will add a fee for it, right? A bigger fee.
Yep.
Okay. Oh boy. I feel like there are way too many traps for new players. Example is common animals, common silo, etc. If a newbie buys common animals, he will soonish eventually realize that he will be forced to always invest endlessly in CBIT Zest to be able to harvest. ROI is negative. Can you tell me why are there common buildings and animals if they are not viable at all? I guess answer to this before we move on.
It's not totally up to us. You are doing the market, and we can, as already said, we cannot just change the common stats.
Okay. Sorry. Math has been done many times, and I see it myself. I have a common geese. I have common geese with Epic Silo, and it's not profitable at all. I have negative earnings because every day sales required per bit is increasing so much that common are simply not viable. I really struggle to see how can this situation attract new players. If they will come, they will soon quit because of these issues. Yes, you can say that you need to do your own research and buy what is profitable and works. But on the other hand, shouldn't it work also with common animals? If you want to go more in depth, there is a calculation I've done, and he posted a picture.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
I, I know. I know it's a problem, and cannot say different. But we cannot just change the commons. We need to wait for some kind of equilibrium, and if we change the common stats, we also need to change rare and epic stats. And what if the market does not balance? We need to change them again, and so on again, and so on again. Mm,
I think again the solution you are actually offering here without actually maybe wanting to, it's the blending, right? The blending
yeah.
is really good. Like for example, to give my farm for example, right? I now consume 370 bits per day. If I blend all my animals and invest in the game, right, and buy the sales difference, I actually consume 3 times less cbit per day, right? Which makes my farm more than profitable. So the blending is actually y- no, a wanted solution which you give to the players without knowing it, right?
Yeah, and asking to new player to invest something in the game, it's also the only way to earn or to have old players earning, uh, because money cannot be created from nowhere.
Yeah, so
And okay,
okay.
oh my
Oh
god.
my god, how do you guys find the time to write all this stuff? Hi, I'm positive with the game progress and appreciate the dev work. However, need help to review the balance between sales and cbit at least in the short term before Waxchester, as this is causing another conflict on users. I don't understand, but this particular group of users called server boosters, okay, they are so conservative and does not take in comments from other users, particularly calling names and like crying babies or leaving the game, which I'm not comfortable with, and I did not involve in the conflict. I believe they are the early players from farming trails which already profited or ROI'd and and have abundance of zest. For the well-being of this game, I'm having concerns on attracting new players. So my question is, what is the minimum
So,
investment?
as
Yeah,
said before, I think um, the best way now to invest and to be profitable is to invest a part of the capital into the animals or the buildings, and a part into Zest. Um, Using some brain, some tactics. In this way, uh, you can be green basically on your farm.
just
And
keep in mind, guys, that the cest you are staking is not lost. You can always take it back. It's not lost. Yeah. Do I continue with the sentence or hello? We cannot hear you if you are saying something. We can hear you now. We can hear you typing. Uh, okay, I guess I'll just read the next question and you can type it and I will read the answer. Um, the only solution I see now to save common animals is to change the cost of feeding. Are you planning to do this? Otherwise, they will need to be removed and burned. Man, that's Oh my god, he left the chat and I asked the question. Okay, let's wait for him to come back. Okay, waiting for him to answer. Lyco says, nope, it's not a solution. If we change the consumption, the system will change the pool. Of course, we can change the system, but it will screw Sibit, to put it in nicer words. Okay.
Hey, I'm back.
Oh my god, okay. Thank god. It's really so weird talking by myself. Okay.
And I'm also I was also talking by myself.
I actually opened a new tab in my browser looking for crypto
Yeah.
jokes to make a time pass. Okay. Okay. Moving on then. Did you have internet? Uh, also, I have a question about the legendary. If you look at the ROI, it will be 265 days. This is the largest ROI of all legends. Peer has 110 days. That's twice as large as the stable. This is unfair for the legendary ones. Waxchester will not be around soon, so before its release, it would be fair to change these readings at least 2-3 times.
I don't know. Probably you're right, but they will have a very huge advantage in New Chester, especially the fishing fire, if I'm not wrong, since they are not sold out. Am I right? Yes. And they are just 700 or something like that.
Yeah, 732, I think, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were actually really good. Okay. Similar to Neo's question, I have a friend started his journey on 1st January with $1,000 with 1 epic shelter, 6 common geese. On the 11th, his CB drop is not sufficient for his sustainability already. I think this issue must be addressed. And he also posted a picture
Mm,
of his Excel.
yeah, it's the same as the other questions of this type. He could be profitable with array storage, for example. And yes, I know it's tricky. It's a trap or anything, but a game need to be a game. Need to be complicated. Need to be in this way.
I think nothing changed from last month from before the staking system, but the required starting kit for the game, right? Now you need an animal, for example. You need a farm building for it, and you need to upgrade your silo for it, and you need to stake Zest for it, right? So only the starter kit changed. Like
Yeah, and we always warned you all about this point. We always say that it's not just a click and earn, but you need to use some brain, and that's the point of this game.
yeah. Hi, can we post 2 simple official tutorials on
How many questions do we have tonight?
Too many, man, too many.
Hmm.
On how to start making money and grow with reasonable wax investment. It always seems that when some of us give advice, many people don't listen and say it's impossible, accusing the older players of some nefarious plot. For example, here is
Hmm.
a super simple guide for setting up profitable gardens with 160 wax, and he posted the picture. I guess that's a guide for new players. You guys can read it while we go on with the questions.
Yeah, I think we can advertise this kind of guides, and should be cool. It's probably unfair if we write them, since it looks like inside the trading or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I tell people. We can tell you how the game works, how the NFTs works, the stats of them, and after that, it's all your duty to do the research and do the math, and the community's duty, after all, to come to an agreement of what's the best solution
Yeah,
to play the game. We cannot tell you how to play it.
yeah. We are absolutely available to advertise your guide, your community guide. But this kind of guide cannot be done by the team or by the project. It's not fair.
Yep. Could you answer why we should even? Oh wait, I double posted. Play the game at all. Sorry if it sounds harsh, but to be frank, at the moment, all I can do is harvest and then stake all cess harvested. Still, I get less and less CBIT every day. I started out with more CBIT than I needed, but it is rapidly falling. As someone else stated before, with enough staked Zest, we could just sell the CBIT for Zest and keep on staking that. Rinse and repeat. No need to play at all. Let's face the facts. There is no real game until Rochester, but this issue is very much reality now. So how will it be solved? Still have faith, but in my opinion, something needs to be done in this matter.
Well, saying to us that there is no real game, it's a bit unfair. And as already said, if you can keep up with the CBITs, you're probably doing something wrong. I have no problem to share my farms, and I really have just one rare silo and a totally random mix of animal and building obtained by unpacking, I don't know, 6-7 small packs after the sale. So it's totally random, and I'm still profitable. So I would like to say just do your math better.
Alright. I also have to contribute to this cause. The current CB distribution seems broken. Commons and rare, well, I guess we already answered this.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I think there should have been.
Of course, sorry, Bruce. For all these questions, we are not just sitting here watching stuff. We try every day to balance, to rework, to do better math on anything. It's not so simple.
Yes, unfortunately. I think there should have been a new coin when Rochester started. The new coin should be a tool for the Zest price to rise without killing it. Do you have plans for a new coin?
A part of the team would like to have a new coin, and another part is against a new coin. I think we don't need a new coin, to be honest. Maybe we need some new use case for the Zest, and they will come. Up to now, another coin, it's not necessary.
Okay. Oh boy, skipping this one. Already answered.
Okay.
It is hard to earn a CBIT with the current system. Why not set a fixed ratio like 1000 cents to 1 CBIT subject to change monthly?
Well, a fixed ratio for the drop, I think, right? Since since the pool is linked to the real consumption of food and water, it cannot just be based on a fixed ratio. Otherwise, each Zest staked will lead to more CBIT than the needed ones.
Yes, exactly. It has to be incremental and dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to make a point for the common NFT to be brought. I recommend removing common silo and make it a requirement for new players to buy rare silo.
Yes, it's not a bad idea and could work, of course, but it also means to introduce a new wall for new players. I'm just not sure it's a good way, but yes, we are thinking also on that.
Okay. Any updates on the console seats on Rochester?
Soon I really feel better, promise.
Okay. Also, are there any plans for social media presence such as Facebook and Instagram? I know that Wax has less users than BSC, but the new Rochester alone should be generating a lot of interest. For comparison, Plants vs. Undead and Wanaka Farm have a massive user base.
Yes, I think Phage could be interested in that. And keep in mind that we have a huge user base on Twitter, for example. We have no bot or we have no. I mean, all our Twitter users are real users, for example. So we can move also on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Phage, they are talking to you. I know you are listening.
Okay. When we can start decorating our farms? Would be nice to have limited edition NFTs.
Yeah. We are also working on that, and our main Unity dev is trying to finish. Nice fit. It's trying to finish an important rework on the code, on the Unity code, and after that, I'm pretty sure we'll start to work also on the customization of your welding.
Okay. We talked about this, but I guess it's a suggestion. Instead of creating wildflowers to give away a small amount of CBs for free to benefit a few, why not rather benefit all players equally by making the CB refill requirement, let's say, 2 or 3 CBs instead of 5? This will benefit both smaller and larger players.
I will say that neither smaller neither larger players will benefit from that. If changing price will not change the economy.
My question is, what is the plan of farming their sim or they're struggling? Okay, is there a possibility to have a burning mechanism or other way to retract the price of Zest against Cbit? And Waxchester is the next metaverse gameplay in Wax blockchain. Thank you so much.
Wildfires will be the first metaverse gameplay in Wax blockchain. I'm pretty sure of this.
Okay.
And yes, there will be new burning mechanism.
Well, actual question. Could you clarify on how to obtain a share of main building in Waxchester? It's mentioned in the white paper that players have to win them through a craft system following a dedicated sale. What are the craft system dedicated sales that mentioned in the white paper? And do we need Zest or CB to be part of stakeholders?
Okay, we have not still decided the full way to do that. Mainly because we would like to have also small players involved in this. Of course, as we always say, whales are whales, and it's part of the game. But we really want also small player to have a chance to be there. So we are still thinking on that.
Okay.
I don't know. I just don't know for now.
Okay, that's all.
Of course, also whales will be rewarded for sure, but also some small player.
Alright. Okay, before we move to your solo part of the AMA, I'm gonna be honest here, guys. I actually took all the questions from the AMA and asked them directly to Lycos, but it seems that a lot of them are actually pretty repetitive and literally the same thing. So out of respect for you guys, I asked them all, right? But in the next AMAs, I'm actually gonna filter them, and if something is repeating like why says dying, why says dying, why says dying, I'm only gonna ask it once. If you are so don't be mad if I don't read your question in the future, but this is the way it has to be. Try to come with good questions about the game, not about why CES is dying. It's not the devs' fault that the CES is dying or it's lower than yesterday or higher than yesterday or something like that. Okay. Okay.
Well, it's also dev's fault, but the the answers to these questions are are often stupid and not consistent. So one is enough. We can just put them together and answer once.
Yes, exactly. So it's no, we don't mean any disrespect for you guys, but there's no point in answering 10 questions from 40 why Zest is dying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What info do you have for us? What's coming this week, this month?
Okay. I'll try to be fast because I'm dying again. But we are going to publish the new updated roadmap. From now on, we are expecting 3 big updates driving through to New York Chester. The first one will be in 1 or 2 weeks, and will be the Wildflowers. From that point, we are going to have 1 big update per month, and we will introduce the seed system in February, and the storage system in March. For storage system, I mean when you will be able to harvest the real products and not directly Zest. After that, we should be ready for New York Chester. And I know that could be a long roadmap, but as usual, we need to code everything inside Unity, inside the backend, inside the blockchain. So it takes some time. Cannot be different from that.
Okay.
Another big news, and I need probably to change it into the white paper, is that seeds will be in form of NFTs.
Seeds
And there will
DAO?
what?
Seeds. I thought you
Seeds,
said
seeds.
seed. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
seeds, not eats, and seeds.
Okay.
They will be in form of NFTs, and they can be generated through greenhouses, and that's our new dynamic. So you can buy and put a greenhouse in your farms, and using water you can grow seeds. These seeds can be used into your farms or can be traded and sold directly on Atomic. So people having a greenhouse will drive the seeds economy, basically.
Keep talking
And
why I'm buying an epic water tower on Atomic Hub right now.
yeah. And I think that's another step through the DAO, because it's another piece of economy in the hands of players. We still don't have a date for the greenhouse sales, but it will be right before the update, the seeds update.
Will the players
And
will the players be able to select which seeds to
No,
make at the greenhouse, or it will be random?
no. It will be random, and so I think there will be lots of tactics also on which kind of seeds people will buy on Atomic. And to complete the weekly task, there will be a couple of greenhouse also into New York Chester that will produce specific seeds. So if you need the tomatoes and you don't want to buy them from Atomic, you can go to New York Chester and use um, a greenhouse to produce specific seeds. Of course, it won't be cheap,
Wow, okay.
but could be profitable to have a single seeds. Maybe, I don't know.
Also, this system basically adds a little hype, a little dose of adrenaline to players. If someone is,
Yeah.
for example, gets today seeds like saffron, which is 12 hours to harvest, right? It's gonna be a big gain today.
Yeah, it's another level of gameplay.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, awesome.
Also, I know I said to announce the new collaboration in December, but our partner is not ready, and they are waiting to be waitlisted from Atomic, and we are still waiting for them. But it's probably time um, to talk about that. So I don't want to reveal the name of the collaboration then. And it's not probably people, I mean, people are talking about Binance or stuffs like that, but it's not that. We think that the way we choose is the better way to have farming tales different from anything else around, not only on Wax but also on other blockchains. And in part, we want to be back to the start of this project. So from now on, the large part of new collaboration will lead to have a specific NFT that can be used into the game to produce rare stuffs. They will be legendaries, basically. And they can also be used to get in real life products. So your farms will be able to produce stuffs needed for New York Chester. For example, I don't know, for sure we will have hemp into this form. And through this asset, you can produce some hemp for the game that can be traded into New York Chester, that can be sold, and so on. And you can also choose to produce real hemp. I know that maybe someone was expecting for a different kind of collaboration. But I really think that having something like that into an NFT and blockchain game is a game changer. And for sure, we are the only game around working in this way. So let's wait for that and let's see how it works. Our idea is to steal users from standard markets and have them involved into into the blockchain, into farming tales, of course.
Also, you're basically targeting two types of people: the ones already within crypto world, and the ones who are not in the crypto world already.
Yeah. And lots of people are here from the beginning, basically for in real life stuffs, honey and saffron. Having them into the game instead of outside here in Discord could be funny and useful for the world project. And we really can catch the attention of lots of people investors with a system like that.
Yeah, true.
Well, that's my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong, of course. Of course, our partners will be huge project from the real world, and should be awesome.
Oh, so this will be the first partner who will have their name or image in the game, right? On a building or something. Maybe.
Still not the moment. I really want to have them ready for that. Mainly because merging the real life stuffs into the game is a great responsibility. So the team want to be sure that the partners are really ready also to implement the NFTs in their systems.
Yeah. So again, it's a complicated procedure.
Yep.
Okay. Well, before we close out, do you want to say something about? I saw you made an announcement about the saffron delivery. Do you want to say something about that?
Nothing special. As said in the announcement, people interested in receiving the real product can contact me directly via Diorama. And as soon as the first round has completed, we will start to reward also people that don't want the real saffron but want to have them sold by us. Caching wax or
I think this is the first time, right? People.
is the first official season, yes.
Yeah.
We already sent about 300 kilograms of honey around the globe for the promo season. And we have reached the Australia, the Canada, US, and Europe, of course. Probably Australia is the most complicated.
Well, I guess jokes on who thought you're not a real farmer then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also US customs. I think we need to send the honey twice to T. Davis, for example, since the US customs, I don't know, probably broke the jar or something like that.
Gotcha. All right. We will skip the live section today because obviously you're not feeling that well.
Yeah.
Next week we'll do another AMA. Do you think you
Yeah,
can?
sure.
Okay.
If I am still alive, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it for today, I guess, guys.
Yeah. I'll try to keep an eye on the general chat. Anyway, we can still talk there.
Well, anyway, when Joe is not there, at least, right?
No.
We love you, Joe.
I have a peaceful talk with Joe yesterday or the day before. I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you for coming, and yeah, see you next week.
Yeah, see ya. Good night or good. Anyway.
Good morning.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.